one of those things where you have to kind of find the balance between getting as tight to the net and pushing your hands over as you can without exactly running into it.
Scott's getting set with a counterattack. Hot flash gets the finish. Emma Hot taking advantage of all 6'2" of her frame, able to send it down. Actually, correction, that was not Hot that was actually Grace Lochterman. Kyla Bailey back to serve for the Scots. Gunn setting up for Sconyers. Sconyers able to get through, but the Scots hang on. Scots with a counterattack. Kayla Herman with the dig, and a whistle is blown as it looks like.
I believe they hit the antenna on the hit, which, again, is considered out of bounds here, so that's going to grant us another free point. A lot of hitting errors for the Scots so far this early. They had that first set, which granted them a kill, but after that, they had a blocking error as well as a hitting error, so they're going to need to clean it up a little bit and take advantage of that height. But one thing I loved that Sconyers just did was they ran a shoot set, so they're actually moving that middle blocker off of her normal position, which is going to force her to move and not allow her to set up with that big frame of hers.
It'll go down as an attacking error courtesy of Kelsey Carmen. Now, all of a sudden, the line's tied up again. It's 3-3. And this time, Carmen able to kind of respond after that quick little mistake. Able to send it down into the hardwood. So now the Scots, 4-3 lead. And back to serve now is Anna Baldwin, the libero for the Scots. Bevel. Manzo looking for McDonald. McDonald's going to pop it over the top. Does it catch that back line? No, it does not. It doesn't catch a Scott fingertip. No. Point will be awarded to the Scots. You have to ask that questions when those Scots in the back court start to reach. Baldwin puts a little too much umph behind that service. It goes past that back line. We go down as another service error for the Scots. And the Lions back within one as Elena McDonald will go back to serve for the Lions.
One thing I really hope that these Lady Lions are going to do, and so far they're doing a fantastic job of it, is playing fearless. As I mentioned earlier, they do have that height disparity, but if they can swing through those blockers, I think they're going to find themselves a lot more kills, even with a height disadvantage.
Kelsey Carmen able to get the attack through. Jackie Sampson just got a little bit stuck on her heels there, not able to get in a good enough position to try and make a play for that ball as it goes for the hardwood. Scots are up by 2. It's 6-4 here in the first set. McDonald, Manzo looking for Sconyers. Sconyers is going to tip it over. Can the Scots keep it alive? Yes, they can. Let's go over. No. Kelsey Carmen tries to make a desperate play to kind of bump it over with one hand over to her back shoulder. But the ball just goes into the side of the net and hits the ground. Lions down by 1. Jessica Sconyers back to serve. And what a standout performance we've seen from the sophomore in this season.
She's had a fantastic campaign. She's been harnessing double-digit kills across multiple events and tallying that with a ton of blocks as well, as the Lady Lions go for another attack, which is dug out by the Scots.
Oh, powerful attack that manages to go through the block and off of the head of Vanessa Manzo. That's one way to earn a point. That kills courtesy.
Looks like
number 12.
Number 12, excuse me.
Actually, I'll go down as an assist from Anna Baldwin. That point's going to be courtesy of Summer Johnson Northcutt.
Through the block again for number 5, who I believe. Number 5, Sierra Phelps, if I'm not mistaken. Gets that right side kill for herself. Fantastic job tooling it off the block as Gunn goes back to serve.
And definitely what you want to see from the senior. Now, for those who don't know, today is actually senior day. We'll be honoring a lot of the senior players today. And another powerful attack by the Scots, kept alive by the backcourt defensive specialist for the Lions. Here's the attack by Summer Johnson, kept alive. Gunn looking for Sampson. Sampson with the attack, but Sampson got a little too strong like Sampson.
And although
I don't know if you know your Bible history, Simon, but Sampson was actually a judge, and he was known for his immaculate strength. Sampson a little too strong on that attack there.
Yeah, and although she did miss deep, I do want to point out that the ability that they've had to scramble so far, I mean, fantastic bump set from Gunn there, and Herman doing an amazing job of keeping plays going as she's digging it out. They get another free point there, courtesy of a miscommunication by the Scots I'm just loving how they're actually able to set up so many opportunities, even with the powerful hitting across the net from them by the Scots.
And that point was actually kind of bizarre because it came off of a powerful attack by the Lions, and it just seemed like the Scots were ready. And as the ball was kind of going towards the edge of the net, they were all waiting to see whether or not that would go short, but no one was really there to kind of make a play there. A point is awarded to the Scots. I'm usually not one to question an official, but it seemed like that went through those blockers up front for the Scots, Mr. Johnstone.
I couldn't, not the best angle by my eyes, but yeah, I mean, when it goes through two blockers like that, you have to think it's got to nick someone, but officials didn't see it that way, and, one of the line judges is focused on how deep it goes, so I guess they didn't see a tip there.
Here's the attack by Bailey. That one does go off the blockers up front. That will be a point awarded to the Scots. Kyla Bailey, the junior, she has a very, very powerful attack. I would almost say that that's Jenna Ash-esque.
Oh, absolutely, and I think the really interesting thing about what the Scots have is they almost have a couple Jenna Ashes on their team. It looks like they have one on the right side, one on the outside.
Speaking of Jenna Ash, her attack actually just got sent back. It looks like that came courtesy of Lochterman. I'll go down as a block for her. As that attack actually got sent back with about the same amount of force as it was coming off of her hand.
They were not afraid to take that one on by the hands, I'll tell you what.
All right, we got a timeout call, but we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, more action here in the first set. Scots are up 11-7. You're listening to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back, Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. If you're just joining us, Scots coming out with a storming lead right now. They lead the Lions 11-7 here in the first set of match number 1 of this tri-match, hosted by the Lions here in Demorest, Georgia, on homecoming on Senior Day. Matt Kozrowski and Simon Johnstone making his broadcasting debut here, bringing you the action from Cave Arena.
Lauderman starting off as she left before the timeout with a fantastic block onto what I believe was Elena McDonald. And as I mentioned earlier, those blocks are going to be a big threat to the Piedmont Lady Lions. But if they're able to vary their sets from gun as much as I hope they can, then they're going to be able to keep the defense on their toes. This is another fantastic attack by Jenna Ash is picked up by the Scots defense.
Bell's going to pop it up. Gunn looking for McDonald. Can McDonald get it through? It's blocked up front. Herman, Ash looking to tip it over, it's blocked up front. And we have a whistle blown as it looks like that actually went into the side of the net. It was not a block, and that will go down as one hit too many for the Lady Lions.
Lady Lions timeout not yet bearing fruition, but hopefully they're going to figure out exactly what their goal was for their strategy coming out of that timeout as it goes to Gunn, to the middle hitter, 25, goes back over to the Scots, picked up again, over to Gunn, out to Jenna Ash. She gets another attack, and down it goes onto the hardwood, taking out the Scots as Jenna Ash picks up another kill. I believe her third of the match so far. She's off to quite a strong start.
Jenna Ash, as per usual, making her presence known so far, and you are right on the money with that. That is Ash's third kill so far today, and the fourth kill for the Lions. Here's the attack by Bailey. Herman can't get to that one as that goes out down as another point for the Scots. They're up 14-8.
I think one of the keys for the Lady Lions to really get back into this score line, as they're only down 6 at the point, is to keep this Scots offense out of rotation. Once those ladies are getting in set and getting able to put that set wherever they want, that is when they're threatened. As another fantastic kill by the Lady Lions, pushing that or cutting that lead down to 5 by Elena McDonald.
Elena McDonald, perfect placement as it just catches that back right corner. Vanessa Manzo, number 1, back to serve for the Lady Lions, down by 5 here in set number 1. Manzo sends it into the side of the net. That'll go down as a service error for the Lady Lions.
I believe only their first one, if I'm not mistaken.
You would be correct, Mr. Johnstone. Back to serve is Anna Baldwin, the libero for the Scots. Bevel's going to pop it up. Manzo's going to run in and keep it alive. Can Bevel send it back over? Yes, she can. What a way to keep it alive for the Lions. Here's the attack by Carmen. She tips it over. And now it'll go down as a point for the Scots as it gets just over those Piedmont blockers and lands on the hardwood. Now, Carmen better be careful because that very easily could have been called a lift.
Absolutely. And one thing I want to point out for those Scots is when you have such a height advantage, those people covering the blocks for the Lady Lions, they're going to be more concerned about something that comes off the hands of a block as another kill goes down for the Scots. I didn't pick up exactly who that was. Looks like Carmen Kelsey with back-to-back kills for the Scots. But as I was saying, when those ladies have such a height advantage over the Lions, those covers of the block are going to step deep to make sure that if there's a ball tip, they can keep it in play. But that opens up the opportunity for those Scots to just push it over the net and basically highlight how much of a height advantage they have and highlight how hard it is to cover those hitters. As another kill goes down by
Emma Kopflesh, number 18. And you're very right. With that height advantage for the Scots, wouldn't surprise me if they started to dominate over up front very soon in this game. Manzo saying it for Sconyers. Sconyers with the attack, kept alive by Bailey. Here's a set for Carmen. Carmen with the attack goes past that back line.
Seems like they called a tip, though, on the Lady Lions blockers. Didn't actually see who that was tipped by. I'm curious who they're going to call that on if they do. But unfortunate circumstance for the Lady Lions. They're going to have to bounce back because they're trailing by 10 at this point in the first set.
Baldwin back to serve yet again. Sierra Phelps. Manzo looking for Sconyers. Sconyers is blocked up front by Emma Kopflesh. And you can already hear it get loud on that Covenant Scots bench. They are really getting into this game up by 11, 20-9 the score right now. And the Scots are just 5 points away from closing out set number 1. And now it'll go down as an ace, if I'm not mistaken, for Anna Baldwin. And it will. It will go down as the record as an ace for Anna Baldwin. Timeout called by Piedmont. They are down 21-9 right now, falling behind fast and falling behind early here in the first set of match number 1. We're going to take a quick break and listen to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back, Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. If you are just joining us, the Covenant Scots, visiting Covenant Scots, are absolutely exploiting on these Lady Lions right now. They're up 21-9 right now here in set number 1 of match number 1 of the CCS tri-match here in Demorest, Georgia at Cave Arena. Scots able to get it over. Lions keep it alive. Manzo looking for McDonald. McDonald sends it into the side of the net. Point awarded to the Scots. 22-9 Scots up right now.
Yeah, the Scots are doing a fantastic job of keeping those Lions on their back feet, really unable to get into position to generate a strong attack are the Lions. So one thing that they're really going to have to focus on at this point is a strong service return as another attack by Katie Hubbard goes and blocks. Sconyers goes for a swing, not tipped by a blocker, and that's going to,
that goes down as a point for the Lady Lions. Goes down as a kill, as a matter of fact.
I think they called a tip off.
Courtesy of Jessica Sconyers. It looks like that was tipped up front. And Elena McDonald will be back to serve for the Lions. Coach McCormack giving some words to Manzo and Herman defending that back court. Here's the attack by Carmen. Blocked up front by Phelps and Sconyers. Conflict staying up for Carmen again. This time Carmen sends it over the top. Sampson now set to attack. Bailey keeps it alive. Looking for Carmen yet again. And powerful attack kept alive by Taylor Herman. An impressive dig there. Phelps is going to send it over. Here come the Scots and Emma Cobflesh. She makes it look so easy, just reaching up there, almost effortlessly tipping it over those blockers and into that soft area over on that left side.
Absolutely. She has found 2 kills at this point in that short corner on the right side for her. And what I'm curious about is she's actually reined in all 3, if I'm not mistaken, all 3 of her kills. She's up to 5, actually. She's reined in a majority of her kills through tips and not actually a full attack swing, playing more tactically than powerfully at this stage of the set, as they have a set point, 24-10 for the Scots, as number 11, Rachel Bartlett goes back to serve.
Rachel Bartlett back to serve. This is coming after Vanessa Manzo gets called for a lift up front. It looks like she was trying to just tip it up. Ended up going for more of an upward motion, which is not what you're supposed to do. And a powerful attack by Sierra Phelps. And the Lady Lions keep this set alive. Scott still 1 point away from clinching this set. Jessica Sconyers back to serve. The Lions will need a 13-point unanswered rally to extend this first set. Sconyers with the serve. Bailey. Bartlett looking for Johnson, and that's such a powerful attack. Gets sent back to the Scots side. This time looking for Carmen. Carmen's going to tip it over the top, and Manzo keeps it alive. Giant Weathersby's going to tip it over. Another attack by Summer Johnson, and that one gets through. Point awarded to the Scots, and that will conclude set number 1 of match number 1. So the Covenant Scots, they come and see and conquer set number 1 on the Lady Lions. 25-11, the final score of set number 1, taking a 1-0 set lead as we head into set number 2. You're listening to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube.
Welcome back to Piedmont Athletics on YouTube. We are here for the second set of our first match of the tri-match between the Covenant Scots and your Piedmont Lady Lions. The Scots came out on top in the first set with a final score of 25-11, a dominant scoreboard. And it is also reflected by the first set stats, as I have in front of me. The one thing I really want to highlight is those Scots had actually double the amount of kills and a lot less errors. The kills total for the Scots came out to 14, with the Lady Lions only harnessing 7. Or the Lions also had 9 hitting errors to the Scots 1. Something that the Lady Lions are definitely going to need to clean up, as almost every single one of their hitters were in the negatives. We're going to get this set started with number 19 back to serve. That is going to be Kelsey Carmen serving it up for the Scots.
Gun's going to set up for Weathersby. Weathersby with the attack kept alive by Baldwin. Here's the attack by Summer Johnson. Summer Johnson puts a little too much oomph into that one as it goes past that back line. First point of the set awarded to the Lions. It looks like Sarah Bevel will sub in for Jackie Sampson.
Yeah, Matt, as I was just saying, the one thing that's really scary about the first half stats is those Scots had double the amount of kills and 8 less errors than those Lions, something that the Lions are definitely going to need to clean up if they want to get more competitive in the next couple sets. As a huge kill for number 12 on the Scots, Anna Baldwin.
Actually, that was number 2, Kyla Bailey.
There we go. I cannot read numbers.
You get used to it. Don't worry, young man. You still got a long way to go. Back serve will be number 18, Emma Codflesh, the senior middle blocker. Tallest player on the Scots team, 6'2". Here's the set, looking for Summer Johnson. Johnson with the attack, doesn't go in, no!
They're actually going to get it.
Point is awarded to the Scots. I'm not exactly sure why, though.
That's a super odd overrule from the head judge. Normally, that's so far away from him, it's almost never in his discretion to overrule, as the line judge is on that line. So, curious why he felt it was that far in, but nonetheless, the Lions are going to have to bounce back here as they trail 1-2 at the start of the second set.
Here's the set for Bailey. What a diving dig by Brooklyn Gunn to keep that one alive. Here's the set by Butler looking for Conflash. Conflash is kept alive by Gunn. Gunn ends up hitting it twice. That's going to be no good. Point awarded to the Scots. Brooklyn Gunn, the setter from York, South Carolina. What a play.
Absolutely fantastic one-arm dig. Unfortunately, not able to get a point there. As Conflash goes back to serve again, something I want to highlight is she's actually leading the team in aces, which for a middle hitter is extremely impressive, as another hitting error goes into the middle of the net for the Lions. That's going to be, I don't remember who, I believe it looked like Phelps, if I'm not mistaken.
That was an attacking error by Elena McDonald, number 9.
Right on the money once again, Matt.
Back to serve, Emma Conflash yet again. Herman. Gunn setting it up for Ash. Ash with the attack. Blocked up front but kept alive. McDonald with the attack this time, and it's kept alive by the Scots. Setting up for Bailey. Bailey's going to tip it over. Weathersby's going to get it. Oh, back over. Herman setting up for McDonald. McDonald with the attack. Does it go down? Yes, but past those boundaries. Another point awarded to the Scots. 4-1 the score right now. Conflash back to serve yet again. Right now, the attacking error is just mounting up for these Lady Lions right now, and the game's starting to get away from them.
It looks as though we actually got the point. I don't know exactly why. My assumption's going to be a tip, but from what I saw, I didn't see anything.
It looks like that is what it's ruled. Looking at our live stats, it has been overturned as a kill for Elena McDonald, so I can only assume that that attack was tipped up front. Here's the attack by Summer Johnson, and a great diving play by Bevel to keep it alive. Here's the attack by McDonald. Does it get over? Yes, it hits the hardwood. Another point for the Lady Lions. Back-to-back kills for Elena McDonald, and the Lions are down by 1.
The ball lands in my favorite my favorite part of the court, and that's going to be called the campfire. When those Scots set up around the perimeter, they're going to leave the middle open, which sometimes can lead to a miscommunication. Fantastic serve from our libero as she grabs herself an ace.
Taylor Herman, what an impressive showcase. Here's the serve. Scott's getting set. Summer Johnson with the attack, and it goes to the side of the net. Another point for the Lady Lions, and they even it up at 4-all. Cavarina's starting to get a little loud. You start to feel a little bit of a rumble from those stands.
Absolutely. The Lions harnessing their first lead in what seems to be a bit of a while heading into the second set. 5-4 up as Herman goes back to serve once again.
Looking for Bailey. Blocked up front by Sconyers and Ash, and it goes out. Lions extending their lead, 6-4. Oh my goodness, Simon Johnstone. Do you believe what you're seeing right now?
Right now, no, as they're coming off what was to be a shaky start in the first set. They've absolutely bounced back here and had such a strong presence at the front for their blockers and covering well as Jenna Ash gets another dig. She feeds it back out to Ash, covers herself once again. Sconyers goes for a tip, not to be.
A block up front, it's seen by Logterman. Grace Logterman able to send that one into the hardwood. It'll actually go down as a kill for Logterman as the Scots narrow the deficit down to 1. And in comes number 8, Anissa Snyder, the sophomore, defensive specialist. Here's the attack by McDonald, goes into the side of the net. Point awarded to the Scots, we're even up 6-all.
One thing I want to point out for those Lions is they have limited their hitting errors a little bit more at the start of this second set, which is keeping them in it. And I think just keeping it over the net and trying to force those blockers to actually get a block is going to help them a lot long term. It's going to make them worry about those blocks more. As a fantastic scramble play.
What a serve by Snyder. I've never seen a serve have a downward hook like that. Ash with the attack ends up sending it into the side of the net. Point awarded to the Scots. And now it seems like just as quickly as the Lions gained that lead, they've lost it, and now the Scots are up by 1.
And a common theme for the Scots seems to be trekking back into the second set, and that's going to be keeping those Lions on their back heels as their serves have just so much power, their attacks have so much pace, and the Lions are currently struggling to harness it and set themselves up for their own powerful attacks.
Here's Herman looking for McDonald. McDonald will get it over, and Ball with a great diving dig to keep it alive. Setting up for Kyla Bailey. Gunn with the dig to keep it alive. Herman's going to run up and keep it alive. McDonald able to get it over and into the hardwood. What a play by Lady McDonald, able to fit that one right into the campfire.
Fantastic.
I gotta say, ever since you mentioned that area called the campfire, I love that.
It's fun.
That's such a great name for that soft spot in the middle of the court.
Tell you what,
campfire.
It sucks when it lands there, but man, is it fun to watch it go. I'll tell you. When you're on the offense and you see that thing drop in the middle, oh man, nothing feels better because you know they could have got there, but they just don't communicate. And that is one of the most important things when it comes to volleyball is strong communication with the other 5 players on that court.
Manzo, getting it set from McDonald, blocked up front. Manzo keeps it alive. McDonald gonna bump it over. And a great play by Herman to keep it alive. And McDonald blocked up front yet again. Grace Lochterman lets out a roar.
And there is that height showing strong and showing true for the Scots as another absolute roofing of a block goes down, and the Lions are going to need to set themselves up and try and hit around those blocks as much as possible as they do have that height disadvantage.
And number 2, Kyla Bailey back to serve right now. Phelps going to bump it up for Bevel. Bevel's going to get it over. Here's the attack by Lochterman. Grace Lochterman. Oh my goodness. What a well-placed kill right in front of Taylor Herman, the libero for the Lions.
She is off to one scary start of her match, I'll tell you. I believe her total for this match is a total of 3 kills, if that's not just the set. She is definitely
3 kills so far in this game.
Yeah, she is definitely playing to her height and to her strengths, which is swinging through that ball and is keeping those Lions guessing as to where and what direction she is hitting it.
Service error by Bailey. McDonald will be back to serve for the Lions. Here's the attack by Lochterman. And oh my goodness, Grace Lochterman stepping up for these Scots right now.
Somebody get a pail of water because she is on fire. No one seems to be able to shut her down as the setter is doing a fantastic job of push setting her, keeping her close to the net, and really forcing Sconyers to have to move as much as possible. Usually he's going to be late to it because she doesn't know where that set's exactly going.
And now Anna Ball and libero back to serve. And speaking of Jessica Sconyers, that's how you get a point back. And now she'll be back to serve.
Fantastic job by Sconyers. She never seems to be dismayed if she gets beaten by a block. She just comes right back, swings as hard as she can, and gets through most of the time.
I think Jessica Sconyers is going to be that kind of big piece up front to kind of counteract that huge size advantage that the Scots have. And look at that, Emma Cobflesh. She just reaches over.
She is using her length to perfection, and she loves that short right corner for herself because that looks to be her 3rd or 4th kill in that exact same position, something that I'm quite frankly surprised the Lions haven't looked to cover yet.
It's so crazy because when you are that tall and you don't go up that high, you have so much more control about where you can place that ball. And so it's not even much of an attack as much as it is a redirection.
Absolutely.
There's the attack up front and the kill for the Lions, courtesy of Jai Weathersby, assisted by Manzo. Manzo and Phelps will sub out. Gunn and Ash will sub in. Here's the serve by Gunn. Bailey. Baldwin. Carmen's going to pop it over the top. McDonald keeps it alive. Gunn with the bump. Herman's going to bump it over, and she does. Baldwin setting it up for Johnson.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
maybe Taylor Herman should have let that one go. It looks like that might have had just enough carry to go past that back line. She sticks her arm out there, ends up deflecting it down into the hardwood. Not what you want to do. Scots lead by 2.
And what they've done such a fantastic job of so far in these first half sets is they're basically utilizing their middle, who is right now, I believe, Lauderman, or not Lauderman, excuse me, it's going to be Cabflesh, to basically keep that defense on their toes as they give another set out to Kayla Bailey. That's going to be dug up. Outside set given by Herman, attacked by Phelps. Going back out to Bailey. She's going to go for a tip short, and no one's there on the cover once again, something that has been a common theme for these Lady Lions.
And where was that one? Right
in the campfire.
Carmen back to serve yet again for the Scots. Up by 3 now. Scores 13-10. So this match is a bit more tightly contested so far up to this point. Ash is going to bump it up. Gunn with the set. Weathersby's going to tip it over, and the Scots keep it alive. Baldwin setting it up for Bailey. Blocked up front by Jaya Weathersby.
Amazing job, and like I said, that's going to be one of the keys to keeping themselves in this match is playing a big presence. They do have that height disadvantage that I've mentioned, but what they need to do is just press over those blocks, make sure to keep the tips basically nullified, so they're going to have to force those Scots to swing because once they're swinging, they're getting a lot more errors and a lot more blocks for themselves.
Here's the set for Bailey yet again. That one gets through. It hits the hardwood. A powerful attack by Kyla Bailey, able to get through and hit the hardwood.
Cobflesh looks like she's going back to serve. As I mentioned earlier, is she the one with the service ace? I want to make sure. She is, yeah. She's been on an absolute tear so far. She had herself a little bit of a run earlier, and she's going to look to press the matter once again with a 3-point lead.
And something I'd like to point out about Emma Cobflesh, and I made this remark earlier before the start of our broadcast, she's kind of got the set of buns going right now like she's Padme Amidala from Star Wars.
It's definitely an interesting and noticeable hairstyle, that's for sure. And quite frankly, I'm kind of a fan of it. It's definitely unique and diverse, and I'm all for it.
It works. It works for sure. Bailey, Bartlett setting it up for Johnson. What a great dig by Bevel. McDonald with the attack now. That one gets over. Bailey keeps it alive. Bartlett looking for Bailey again. Bailey gets it over, and the Lions just tip it away. Oh, my goodness. Lions just not able to recover after that attack by Bailey. That goes down as another point for the Scots, and a kill for Kyla Bailey. 15-12. Scots are up by 3 right now.
And what the big issue when it comes to those situations is because they're so worried about that short tip not being covered, the blockers that are going up are actually worried about covering themselves, which is going to lead to a miscommunication. That's why Jen Ash happened to punch it out as another strong block from what looked like Bailey alongside her compatriot Lauderman shuts down the Lion offense once again.
Grace Loggerman, absolute force right now up front. And we talk about, Emma Cobflesh has the height. Grace Loggerman has the power.
Absolutely. She is swinging through that ball.
Look at that.
Shutting down those blocks with absolute force.
She's actually looking for Bailey. Bailey's going to tip it into the pole, and a point awarded to the Lions. Bailey, usually on her mark. I don't think you could recreate that kind of shot going right into the side of the pole like that.
No, especially off her offhand swinging lefty on that one. That's pretty much just a hit and hope kind of situation, but she nearly got it over.
I think if that post wasn't there, that ball is for sure going to be inbounds.
Absolutely.
For sure. Manzo back to serve for the Lions. Baldwin's going to tip it up. And it looks like Carmen keeps it alive, and the Scots are able to get it over. Unbelievable effort. Skyers with the attack. Carmen with the diving play to keep it over. Bartlett's going to tip it over. Manzo setting it up for Phelps. Phelps with the attack blocked up front as it goes into the hardwood. What a block by Lochterman and Bailey.
And one thing I want to touch on as they have another strong blocking presence is what you mentioned earlier about Gunn's ability to fake set and drop sets over the net, basically keeping them on their toes. They really haven't done that here, and I think that's an absolute detriment to the Lions' offense as those blockers are able to just set up exactly where that hit is going. As another attack goes wide, courtesy of, I believe, to be
number 5,
Sierra Phelps.
You'll get it down.
I called her Katie Hubbard in the first set, so I'm just trying to make myself sure it's Phelps at this point.
Well, let's be frank. Katie Hubbard's seen a lot of time for a freshman, and her and Sierra Phelps do look very similar. Taylor Herman's going to bump it up. Manzo with the set, looking for McDonald. McDonald with the attack, and he gets over. Scott's keeping it alive. Bartlett looking for Carmen. Carmen tips it into the post. 18-14 the score right now.
Lions slowly building a stronger offense, keeping the Scots on the back foot now, which is going to be the key for their second set victory if they want to make a comeback here. And keeping those Scots tipping instead of going for those swole swings because they have such power at every position is going to be so important for these Lions to grab themselves a few free points.
Herman going to bump it up. Sarah Phelps going to pop it over the top. Bailey's going to bump it up. Bartlett looking for Carmen. Carmen's going to tip it over, and Manzo able to tip it up and actually over the net. Baldwin, Bartlett looking for Lochterman. McDonald tries to make a diving dig, unable to do so. 19-14 the score right now.
Yeah, and those Scots, like I said, moving those sets around so beautifully. They go to the outside, they go to the right side, making sure that Sconyers is never exactly sure where that set's going. And the other thing I want to point out is how communicative and vocal these Scots have been. I can hear them screaming all the way up here, and it is clear as day what they're saying, which only helps their chemistry and only helps their ability to move exactly where they want to go. As an amazing dig by Herman goes back up to Lauderman, or not Lauderman,
Conflish, able to just clean it up there. Conflish able to just clean it up there. I think she just doused out that campfire.
Yeah. That's some serious pepper behind it as it lands near the 10-foot line.
Coach Jamie McCormick going to call the timeout. 2014 the score right now. 2014 was a pretty good year, Simon.
It was indeed. I don't have any fun facts for you at this point, but I will tell you.
I remember I was in 7th grade. That was the first time I started playing football.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
What position?
Okay, so when I first played, I was actually they stuck me at running back because I ran, but I had never played football, so I couldn't play the position properly. I played like a scared little boy, which was not good. So as far as at that point, the dream of being a pro athlete just kind of diminished at that point. But
did the realization hit on your first contact with the linebacker?
No. The realization hit when I played my first game, and I was just kind of like, okay, this is a lot scarier than I thought it was. But I eventually got over that, and I got better. I got better as the years passed, but then I think that was kind of the realization I had where I was like, man, maybe the NFL's not in my future.
Maybe not.
And that was when I started kind of looking at other things. I was like, let's try broadcasting. And here I am now.
It's good to hear. Great story.
See, who knew that a beautiful statistic would lead us to the origin story of Matt Godrowski's sportscasting career?
We've come full circle in a matter of a 7th grade football event.
From the gridiron to the hardwood. Anna Baldwin Libero back to serve for the Scots. 2014 the score right now here in set number 2. Scots took set number 1. Ball sent over into the side of the net, and Jackie Sampson able to keep it alive. Conflesh with the attack. Manzo keeps it alive. Herman's going to bump it up. It looks like Sampson's going to get the attack, and it's going to be blocked up front and goes OB. Point for the Lions. 2015 the score right now.
Fantastic job scrambling by the Lions, keeping themselves in that play and leading up to an absolutely fantastic attack, making the Scots miss their block wide.
Sconyers back to serve for the Lions. Bailey. Bartlett setting up for Conflex. Blocked up front by Gio Weathersby and Sampson. Do the Scots keep it alive? Yes, they do. Manzo bumming it up for Sampson. Sampson with the attack. And I don't know why Bailey tried to save that one. That was going to go well past, but she does. And a great diving play by Sconyers keeps it alive. Lions are not able to get it over, though. So, crisis averted for the Scots. Point awarded. 21-15 the score right now. Who knows what the future holds for 21-15, Simon Johnstone?
Don't think we'll be on the earth to tell the tale, but I'll tell you what, there's going to be a lot of differences.
You never know. You never know. I was born in 2000. Yeah, no, never mind. I'd be 113 at that point. Herman. Manzo setting up for Weathersby. Weathersby with the attack. Kept alive by the Scots. Summer Johnson with the attack. Kept alive by Manzo. Weathersby looking for Phelps. Phelps with the attack. Gets it over. Bailey keeps alive. Bartlett looking for Carmen on that left side. Taylor Herman trying to make a diving play. Not able to get there.
And the sheer force of the Scots reigning true once again, as it just seems like on every position up front, they are swinging almost through the blocks and getting down with such speed that it's almost impossible for Herman to get over there and get that ball back up into play. She's doing a fantastic job as much as she possibly can, but the Scots offense is so strong.
Phelps with the attack and a well-placed kill, catching that back right corner. 22-16 the score right now. Scots are 3 points away, and the Lions 6 points away from tying this game up. Sorry to cut you off there, Mr. Johnstone. Brooklyn Gunn back to serve.
And I think this is the lineup they actually prefer to have with Gunn setting. Nothing on Menzo, though, as we have Herman getting a dig over to Gunn. Goes out to Jenna Ash. Jenna Ash with a strong swing. Picked up by the Scots. Goes back out. Picked up again by Miss Sampson. Goes back out to Jenna Ash. She's going to go for a tip. Covered well by Summer Johnson. Set back outside once again. Not to be up by Sampson for a second time in that point, as the Scots grab themselves 2 points away from the set.
You are a natural, Mr. Johnstone.
We're trying. Got to get the names down, but, you know, I've always loved calling stuff, so that's how we've gotten there. Maybe I'll give my Origin broadcast on the next time out. Who knows? We'll see where that leads us.
Kelsey Carmen back to serve for the Scots. Gunn bumping it up for Sampson. Sampson with the attack to get through. Takes a tightrope up the top of the net. Bailey with the attack gets it through. Kyla Bailey able to power it through that block up front from the Lions. And don't get me wrong, we have phenomenal blockers up front. Jaya Weathersby, Jessica Sconyers, Hannah Kate Chagwell. But these Scots are putting so much thunder behind their attacks. It's just getting through, and there's not much you can do about that.
It's a really difficult situation to be in, as Jenna Ash gets a tip off the block and absolutely grabs herself another kill. She's been playing well so far, grabbing herself her third kill of the match. Eleni McDonald is the Lions kill leader at the moment, and for the Scots, it's going to be Grace Loderman in the middle, number 14.
Sarah Bevel back to serve for the Lions. Baldwin. Bartlett tipping it up for Summer Johnson. Johnson able to get it through the block and into the campfire. And that concludes set number 2. Scots, they are absolutely showing so much force, so much dominance right now in these first 2 sets as they claim the first 2 sets 2-0. Now the Lions, it's do or die here in match number 1 as we go into what could be a match-clinching set number 3 after this break. You're listening to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back, Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Matt Kudrowski and Simon Johnstone here bringing you action here in match number 1 of this tri-match hosted by the Lions here in Demers, Georgia at Cave Arena. We got a little bit of happy news here. So a couple years ago, and we're going back to the first game I ever worked was actually a Covenant Scots and Piedmont Lions volleyball game. And Summer, number 13, I've been calling her by the wrong name this whole time because a year or two ago, her name was Summer Johnson. She recently got married, folks. Her name is now Summer Northcutt. Congratulations to the Northcutts.
What a feel-good story.
What a feel-good story to start off set number 3. Seasons are changing, so are the last names, apparently. So as the Scots get ready for set number 3, let's go over the starting lineups. Scots will be looking to close it out with number 2, Kyla Bailey. Number 13, Summer Northcutt. We got it right this time. Number 18, Emma Kopflesh. Number 14, Grace Lockman. Number 11, Rachel Bartlett. Number 19, Kelsey Carmen. And, of course, the libero, number 12, Anna Baldwin. And out there for the Lady Lions, number 24, Jenna Ash. Number 25, Jaya Weathersby. Number 12, Jackie Sampson. Number 2, Katie Hubbard. Number 22, Jessica Sconyers. Number 7, Brooklyn Gunn. And the libero, number 20, Taylor Herman.
And we have Kopflesh starting off exactly how she's been playing the last 2 sets. And that is tipping it to that short right corner, finding herself another kill as she steps back to serve. It is incredible how she keeps finding these spots open, but good job and credit to her for keeping her eye open for those easy tip kills.
Jenna Ash with the attack, able to get it through the block, but Bartlett keeps alive for the Scots. Northcutt with the attack now. Ash bumps it up. Gunn with the set. Sands with the attack. Does catch that back corner. Oh my goodness! It looked like it was going to go past that back line. But it looks like Kelsey Carmen of the Scots just stuck her arm out there trying to keep it alive, ends up deflecting it into that back corner, and it's a point for the Lions, and it evens it up at 1 apiece here in set number 3 as Sarah Bevels back to serve for the Lions.
And I absolutely love what Sampson just did there as she just swung. She wasn't in the most powerful position, but she was definitely able to get a full swing on that as another block is sent back by the Lions. An amazing job pressing over the line as they do it again. Goes back out for the Scots, dug up by this time Katie Hubbard. And Jenna Ash goes for a kill, sailing wide, not to be an attack error for Jenna Ash as the Scots grab themselves a second point of the 3rd set.
How about the force up front? I believe that was Weathersby and Hubbard teaming up for the block there on a couple of occasions there. And when you're the Scots and the first 2 attacks just get blocked up front, you kind of go with alternative number 3 and just tip it over the top.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing that is so impressive about what Weathersby and Hubbard did was pressing over that net as much as possible, because that's how you find yourself so many blocks and setting them straight down as you press over and put your hands down. As another service error by, looks like Snyder, if I'm not mistaken.
That was Anissa Snyder. Look at you! You're catching on the names!
In there. We're finding the flow. We're finding the flow as we have Herman back to serve the libero number 20.
And it looks like Schiners will sub in for Weathersby. Here's the serve. Scott's getting set. A very awkward kind of reception off of that serve. Bailey's going to bump it over and keep it alive for the Scots. Gunn setting up for Hubbard. Hubbard with the attack. Hubbard with the... Oh! Yep, Hubbard with the kill. Awesome. I had to stop myself there because the Scots, they're somehow finding ways to keep a lot of these attacks alive.
They are
do so.
Scrambling.
Just when you think the Lions are going to squeak out a point, the Scots, not so fast. Carmen, Bartlett looking for Bailey. What a kill by Kyla Bailey, an absolute laser beam.
Matrix-like dodge from Brooklyn Gunn, which is actually going to grant them the point as that ball did sail deep. Harmon is going to go back for her 3rd time now serving. A fantastic little run to start off the 3rd set, as they lead 4-2.
Brooklyn Gunn channeling her inner Keanu Reeves.
Not to dodge that one as she catches that in the upper region of her body.
Off of the shoulder and seen and into that side post holding up the net. Kyla Bailey, number 2, back to serve for the Scots. Herman. And it'll go down as an ace for Kyla Bailey. Herman just not able to get a good kind of bump off of that serve, and no Lions were really there in good enough position to try and make a play off of that wonky bounce.
And aces have definitely been something hard to come by in the first 2 sets, as each team only holds one. Another service error, this time by Katie Hubbard, is going to
attacking error.
Seems like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Is going to even up the score once again. Oh, no, it's actually going to give the Scots the lead 5-4. We had a bit of a scoreboard mishap there, which is apologies for the pauses, as we have Bailey go back for her service. Scaniers goes for an attack, dug up, and another attack by number 14, Loderman, as she grabs herself another kill. She has been absolutely dominant in that middle position, throwing down tons of kills.
She's been absolute dynamite. Lockerman's just bringing him down like a logger. Timber.
She has brought herself up to 8 kills. Gunn kicks it out to Hubbard. Goes for a short tip, covered well by the Scots. Set outside, and they're going to call it what I believe to be a double. Yes, that is right. Illegal set on the Scots, and that's going to grant the Lions another point.
That's set by Rachel Bartlett. And it looks like Phelps and Herrera will sub in for Gunn and Ash. 2 seniors subbing in. And the only reason why I bring that up is it's senior day, and we will be doing senior day festivities, but that will be in the Lions' second game, and that game is currently slide start at 4 o'clock. That time may be subject to change, though. We will let you know during the second broadcast, which will be the Covenant Scots, as they return to the hardwood to face the LaGrange Panthers. Anna Baldwin, the libero, back to serve for the Scots. 7-5 the score right now, up by 2. Bevel. Herrera. Staying up for Hubbard. Hubbard gets it through.
Great kill. Maybe senior day, but the freshman showing out strong in set number 3, looking to leave her mark on this set and hopefully push this match to a set number 4 as she steps back to serve.
Speaking of seniors, in comes back Jackie Sampson subbing in for Sarah Bevel. Hubbard back to serve. Baldwin. Bartlett. Looking for Carmen. Carmen's going to pop it over and into the campfire. I'm going to start using that now.
It's a fun term.
It doesn't get old. Don't worry. I'm still going to trademark and give you all the credit for it.
Okay.
But I'm just going to be using it now.
That's good.
I'm going to make it popular.
We're spreading the love.
Let's make it popular. We're going to hashtag spread the campfire love. Let's see if we can start that on Twitter. Rachel Bartlett back to serve for the Scots. And a whistle called. It looks like,
I'm going to say a legal formation. That is right. The Lions set up in an incorrect manner. I didn't see exactly what the problem was. Typically, that means one of the hitters is set up too far to one side, which is deemed illegal, as they're not exactly in the right service return position.
I thought that whistle was for something else, because to me it looked like Bartlett actually went for that serve after she had passed the line.
Well,
Sansa with the attack, hit the line by Scaniers. Herman going to bump it up. Phelps is going to pop it over, and it's sent into the top of the net. Couldn't get a more unfortunate bounce there.
Well, it takes a nice little trip down the tape and just happens to end up back where it started on the Lions side. As we have Bartlett going back to serve, she has been fantastic, and the entire Scots offense have been fantastic on service errors, only holding 3 so far in this match. Actually, the Lions with only 1, something I mentioned they needed to clean up, and have done so very well, as the Lions are looking to generate a strong attack. Phelps goes down with a fantastic, what I believe to be a kill. Yes, it is. Great job by Phelps to grab themselves an attack and cut the lead down to just 3, as Scaniers is going to go back to serve.
I don't know why I keep thinking about every time that ball is taking a trip down the top of that net. It just seems to be tight roping, and I can't help but make this reference. It's almost like the ball is channeling its inner Nick Walenda. Do you know who Nick Walenda is?
I don't. But
Do you remember the guy who went tight roping over the volcano, and there was a huge broadcast? That's Nick Walenda.
Okay. You learn something every day.
His family, get this, Simon Johnstone, is actually a family of circus performers. So his entire family they're known for being these performers on the high wire.
And maybe just like that ball will find himself on the volcano at some point. Scaniers goes back for her second time serving, trailing our Lions by 2.
In this case, the volcano is a campfire.
Oh, my goodness.
Here's the attack by Phelps, and he gets down! Unbelievable. A great bounce goes in favor of the Lions off of the block of Cobflesh, and just falls on the side of the net, and Northcutt just tried to make a diving play to keep that one alive, unable to do so. Scotty's back to serve.
And the Lions are playing a lot more aggressive, which I am a huge fan of, keeping those Scots on their toes, and they're cutting the lead as a result of it. Oh, dear goodness!
What an attack by Conflesh!
Putting her on the outside just seems unfair. She's able to rain down terror on those backside passers, and she's going to grab herself another kill. That's going to bring her total up to 7.
That attack was almost inhumane, Emma Conflesh. You could have killed somebody with that one. Sampson setting it up for Phelps. Bartlett hurdling a player to keep it alive. Herman setting up for Sampson. Sampson pops it over, and 2 Scots diving around to keep it alive. Bailey's going to tip it over. Hubbard. Herrera looking for Sampson. Sampson with the attack, gets it through. Baldwin keeps it alive. Conflesh. Herman looking for Sampson yet again, and he gets down! Jackie Sampson coming up big on senior day for the Lions.
Sampson, a big fan of the number 3, it seems like. Had herself 3 chances, takes advantage on the 3rd one. And my goodness, she got her daily fitness in with just that one sequence alone. Brooklyn Gunn going to go back to serve as she comes in to set for the Lions.
And you know who else comes into the game? Jenna Ash. And that goes down as an ace from Brooklyn Gunn. Evens the game at 11-11 here in set number 3.
The Lions' service game has been somewhat of a strength, which is quite honestly an opposite of what we've seen in past history, but they are definitely taking advantage of how well they're serving today and have grabbed themselves some aces. And
what a powerful attack by Northcutt.
You can only serve so many aces, Matt, and when it comes to a great return, Northcutt and the Scots are not going to falter a great opportunity to put a ball down.
There's just something about these Scots that just have so much power from those outside hitters. Northcutt, Bailey, Cobflesh, Lochterman, just keep naming the players and you'll find an absolute musket in their arm. What? I can't tell if that was blocked or if it went into the side of the net. Either way, it goes down as a point for the Lions, and it will actually go down.
I believe to be an attacking error.
It will go down as an attacking error for Bailey. Bevel will be back to serve. We haven't seen many attacking errors by these Scots. Bartlett setting up for Conflesh. Conflesh misses her mark. Back-to-back attacking errors for the Scots. And now the Lions have a 1-point lead. 13-12 here in set number 3. Lions 12 points away from trying to fight back into this match.
And I don't know if it's an element of fatigue for the Scots, but yeah, they seem to play a little bit more loose, a little bit more uncontrolled when it comes to their attacks, and they're finding a lot more deep, whereas the Lions are doing the opposite. Unfortunately, Bevel is going to find the middle of the net and cause another service error, but the Lions have been playing smart and tactfully, and they have been able to find spots, find attacks where they can swing as hard as they can and grab themselves a few free points.
And let's just keep this in mind. The Scots still have another game after this.
Right away.
How are they right away? They have about a 15-minute break in between this game and the next game between the LaGrange Panthers. And so that only gives you about 15 minutes to, 1, catch your breath, and 2, simultaneously warm up. You're basically going to get one or the other.
Absolutely. And if fatigue is the thing of question, as a great tip kill by Bailey goes down, if fatigue is the question for the Scots, it's going to be interesting how much the coach is going to utilize their bench depth, or if she's just going to hope those players are fit enough to handle another minimum 3 sets right after this one.
I will say this. I think this Lions team is just that tough. And they're specifically that tough at home. Now, for those who don't remember, if you joined us for the last tri-match, we hosted 2 of the top teams in the conference in Huntington and Berea. And let me just tell you, the Lions went 5 sets with Berea and 4 sets with Huntington. I mean, the Lions just have something where they will. There's something about the atmosphere here in Cave Arena that just works in favor of the Lions.
Absolutely. They seem to never count themselves out no matter the scoreline, and that's reigning true here once again, as after a disappointing first set, they've slowly grinded themselves back to 2 stronger second and now a tied 3rd set as they grab themselves the lead once again off of what I believe to be...
It looks like it was a bad set on the Scots. And I think the Lions would have gotten that point if Sarah Bevel had just let that ball go as it was going for that side border. That being said, ball still bounced in favor of the Lions. It doesn't on that one as Taylor Herman sends that serve into the side of the net. It evens it up at 15-all. Kyla Bailey back to serve for the Scots. Also, I just want to take a quick moment to shout out the Piedmont cheer team over on the sidelines, over on that back court. They made an appearance in the last try match. That was actually their first home appearance of the fall semester. Shout out to those cheerleaders.
They were definitely getting loud in our last try match, and I'll tell you what, if they can bring that same intensity and heat here, I think those Lions are really going to harness it and look to grab the third set as Ash gets herself another kill, swinging down the outside line, or right side line, excuse me. And she has upped her kill total now to a total of 5 across these first 3 sets.
Now, I don't know how many of our broadcasts you've listened to, Mr. Johnstone, but we have a saying around here for that. It's called a little bit of Texas Pete. Ash putting a good bit of it on that one. Here's the attack by Carmen. It doesn't get through. It looks like it got through the block. I couldn't tell if it was that or the side of the net. Either way, lands on the hardwood. It will be ruled as it goes. It'll actually be ruled as it goes into the side of the net. It'll actually be ruled as a point for the Lions, as Jenny Herrera will be back to serve for the Lions. Snyder, Bartlett looking for Carmen. Able to tip it over. The Lions keep it alive. Herman bumping it for Hubbard. Hubbard with the attack, kept alive by Bailey. Bartlett this time looking for Carmen yet again. And Carmen gets it through this time. I don't know how you got that kind of topspin on that ball and that hit, but results in a point for the Scots. Evens it up at 17 apiece. And now you see the LaGrange Panthers as they kind of make their way over to behind the benches. I don't know if they're getting set for their match, but this, I can just tell you, this match is far from over right now. We're still tied here in set number 3. Looks like we haven't ruled a point yet. There it is. Point awarded to the Lions. Now up by 1, 18-17. Goes down
as a blocking error.
It actually goes down as a kill for Katie Hubbard.
Really? Interesting. Okay.
And speaking of Katie Hubbard, she'll be back to serve. Snyder. Bartlett actually going for the fake set, and the Lions stay on their toes. Sam's going to pop it over. Carmen. Set for Cobflash. Blocked up front by Jessica Scoggers.
A shake of the head by Cobflash, highlighting just a bit of a disconnect between the middle hitter and the setter. She's been unable to really get a full swing in what seems to be all 3 sets, as she has been finding her sweet spot in the short right corner, but I think if she can find that short set, it's going to be one dangerous circumstance for the Lions, but luckily for them, they have found themselves on the attack, leading here up by 1. Great dig by Harmon to keep the play alive. Hubbard gets another one, and Sconyers keeps it in play, going over to the Scots side.
Here's set by Bartlett. Conflash with the attack. Conflash with the attacking error. Does not catch that back line. Lions up by 3 and 5 points away from clinching set number 3, and the Scots will call their first timeout of this match. What do you know about that, Simon Johnstone?
I got to say, like you were saying earlier, these girls aren't done yet. They're far from over, and they are one gritty group of females. They are going to be fighting till the very end, till the very last whistle is blown. And I think that's highlighted in their strong performance in set number 3.
And how about this, the cheer team? A little bit of tumbling action over there, over on that sideline. You can hear the applause from the crowd. 10 out of 10 performance by the cheerleaders over there. We're going to take a quick break before the end of this timeout. You're listening to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back, Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Lions getting set out of that timeout. Conflash with the attack, and Conflash with the kill right into the pit of that campfire. And I just looked, and the point is actually awarded to the Lions.
I believe the call, the error on Cobflash seemed to be on the follow-through, it looks like. Must have hit the net.
I'm looking at live stats, and it still says a kill by Cobflash. Now it says attacking error by Cobflash. And I'm looking at the Scots bench, and their mouths are hitting the floor right now. Lions are up by 4, 4 points away. It's Aaron Phelps gets the kill. Sierra Phelps, the senior, coming up big on senior day.
Taking advantage of everything they have been given. Hubbard looking to keep the run alive. Only 3 points away from clinching this third set. And the first set for themselves are the Lions.
And Simon Johnson, I'm just going to tell you right now that the Lions managed to close out this set with a W. Cave Arena is going to erupt.
Absolutely. We've heard it a little bit in the last couple tri matches in any of their home games. We have some passionate fans here in Cave Arena, and they are always excited when the Lions come out on top in any set.
Northcutt's going to sub in for Snyder on the Scots side, and Bartlett's actually going to be back to serve for the Scots. Scots are down by 4, but the Lions 3 points away from closing out set number 3 and bringing the set score to 2-1. Setting up for Sconyers. Sconyers pops it over the top. Baldwin keeps alive. Bartlett setting it up for Carmen. Kept alive by Herman. Here's a set for Sampson. Blocked up front. Oh my goodness. It looks like that came courtesy of number 3, Hannah Harrer, a freshman.
Coming in and making a big play in such a tight and important situation is always impressive, especially by a freshman.
And not just a freshman, a 6'1" freshman.
Yeah.
She's as tall as me.
That's scary. Great court awareness by the Scots as they find themselves an attacking error from Sampson, as that are going to cut the lead down to 2 for the Scots.
I think Sampson just missed that line by about half a strip of painter's tape.
It was very close, that's absolutely for sure.
22-20 to score right now. Scots down by 2. Lions are 3 points away. Sampson, Herrera looking for Sconyers. Sconyers with the attack and the kill. Catch in the back corner.
Fantastic job moving the offense so quickly that the Scots were unable to even get close to position. Sconyers and Herrera connecting so fast. Sconyers with a great deep shot, unable for the back row to get anywhere near set. They're going to grab herself another kill as the Lions are 2 points away from closing out the third set.
Here's the serve by Sconyers. It is loud here in Cave Arena. Bailey Bartlett setting it up for Harrer. Kept alive by Baldwin after the block by Weathersby. Blocked up front again! Does not land within the borders, though. Point awarded to the Scots. Scots are down by 2. Lions are 2 points away.
But they're right there, and they're pressing on those blocks, something that I am happy to see, and I'm sure you are too, Matt, as Harmon's going to get a dig over to Herrera. Outside, 2.
Sierra Phelps! Kill! Sierra Phelps with the kill! Listen to Cave Arena erupt, Simon Johnstone. Lions are 1 point away from closing out set number 3, up by 3 against the Scots. And Brooklyn Gunn, the setter from York, South Carolina, back to serve for the Lions. Baldwin, Bartlett setting it up for Harrer, kept alive by Hubbard. Into the side of the net. Ash and Gunn cannot make any kind of play off of that bounce. Point awarded to the Scots. 24-22 to score right now. Scots are down by 2. Now they need to score 2, and look who's back to serve. Harrer, the freshman. Here's the serve. Ash. Gunn with the set. Weathersby with the attack, kept alive, and hits the hardwood. Lions win the set.
Amazing job by Weathersby and all of the Lions to grab themselves set number 3. They have seriously come together and grinded out that third set, winning by a total of 3 points. Great job staying on the attack and not faltering when the pressure came to them.
I can just tell you right now, Simon, when it comes to these Lady Lions, I don't care what the record is. I don't care who they are playing. These Lions, these Lady Lions are fighters, and they will fight against anybody, and they will make anything a contest. As we now go into set number 4 here in match number 1 between the Lady Lions and the visiting Covenant Scots. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back, Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. And if you are here in Cave Arena, you are witnessing a spectacle right now as we have one student worker on the sideline hyping up this entire Cave Arena and the entire Piedmont fan base right now. And if you are a Scots fan, you don't want to be hearing Cave Arena get loud right now, because anytime you hear Cave Arena rumble, oh my goodness, it means the Lions are cooking. Speaking of the Lions, they managed to cook in that third set, winning the third set and taking the set total down to 2-1. Matt Kudrowski and Simon Johnstone here bringing you the action from Cave Arena here in match number 1 of this CCS tournament match here in Denver, Georgia. Simon, what did we see in set number 3 that really was the difference maker for the Lions?
Well, the big thing that stood out to me were the Scots were unable to really get themselves in position to attack smartly and hit high percentage shots. Their hitting percentage dropped down a significant amount, finding themselves a lot more hitting errors, whereas on the contrast, the Lions played some of the smartest volleyball I've seen in quite some time, taking their attacks smartly, not overdoing anything, and really just pushing over their blocks. Something that I was a huge fan of was their block numbers have drastically improved, and their serve percentage has as well as we get underway in the fourth set.
And as far as who's out there for the Scots, a lot of the same names. Bailey, Northcutt, Cobflesh, Lochterman, Bartlett, Carmen, and of course, Anna Baldwin. Out there for the Lions right now, though, Jenna Ash, Jaya Weathersby, Jackie Sampson, Katie Hubbard, Jessica Sconyers, Brooklyn Gunn, and of course, Taylor Herman.
And speaking of Sampson, she's going to start the fourth set off strong with a block, as we have Bevel going back to serve for the Lions, who has been a strong server so far with only one service error.
Bailey, Bartlett, staying it up for Northcutt, blocked up front. Scots are able to hang on. Bailey's going to bump it over. Herman, Gunn with the set, looking for Ash. Ash with the attack, and it's tipped by the Scots. And a point awarded to the Lions. 2-0 Lions here in set number 4.
Fantastic job by Jenna Ash going over those blockers, hitting the fingertips, forcing that back row to scramble. Something that they've done a fantastic job of is not being afraid of swinging up and out, because they know those hands of the Scots will be there, as a huge swing by Bailey goes down for their first point of the fourth set, cutting the lead in half as the Lions now lead 2-1.
What an attack. Just one attack. I don't think you could say anything else other than that. What an attack. And look who's back there. Emma Codflesh. Bevel. Gung with the set, looking for Hubbard. Hubbard with the attack, able to get it over. Was it tipped up front? No, it was not. Point awarded to the Scots, as now this set is evened up at 2 apiece. Codflesh back to serve yet again.
I'm going to be honest, I might need to go to the optometrist, because I actually made a tip motion right after that swing thinking there was contact, but I guess not. So we're going to find ourselves in an even scoreline of 2-2 as an attacking error by Newcutt, I believe is the
that was
name for herself. Northcutt, excuse me.
Right into the side of the net, and that attacking error will give the Lions a 3-2 lead. And here's something we need to be mindful of. When it comes to the Lions, they are very opportunistic, and they're not afraid to make points off of errors. Speaking of which, another attacking error for the Scots, that one coming off of Northcutt, yet again just missing her mark just a little bit as she carries it past that back line. She'll actually be subbed out.
And I'm really glad you brought up those Lions' ability to take advantage of those errors, because earlier in that first try match we saw them actually go error for error almost, and what they've done a fantastic job of in the last 2 weeks is clean up those errors as the Scots grab themselves another kill. That is going to be Loderman throwing down with the left hand down towards the 10-foot line.
And it looks like Snyder will come in for number 4, Taylor Caldwell. First time we've said her name all day today. Snyder back to serve. She's been kind of the go-to service deliverer for the Scots so far. Herman's going to fall to her knees to get that one. Blocked up front by Lochterman. Sconyers sends it into the side of the net, actually, and it'll go down as an attacking error for Sconyers and the Lions, and evens the score up at 4 apiece. Snyder back to serve yet again. Bevel. Gung with the set, looking for Ash. Ash is going to pop it over. Snyder keeps it alive. Bartlett with the set, looking for Lockman. It's blocked up front by Hubbard. Scott's able to send it over the net. Does it fall within the boundaries? No, it does not. Point awarded to the Lions. 1 point lead, 5-4 the score right now as substitutions come in for the Lions. It will be Phelps and Herrera in for Gunn and Ash. Jenny Herrera, the senior, back to serve.
Lions doing just enough to grab themselves some early leads, and I think that's going to be key is just keep themselves in front, keep themselves as close as possible. We're not a team of runs, but we are a team of staying even with any competition we find ourselves against. As a tool comes out after a strong attack from Grace Loderman, going to grab herself number 10 for her total kills across these early 4 sets.
Now looking at that attack, it looked like Lochterman's attack just kind of caught the top bit of that block. Now if those blockers have managed to get a little bit higher, then you're looking at the possibility of sending that attack the other way. And that's where you're kind of seeing that height advantage for the Scots really coming into play against these Lions.
When you are shorter than the man or woman swinging across the net, it is one horrible time trying to get your body all the way up there and shut them down as they have to jump effortlessly as the scramble play of the Lions grab themselves another point, keeping their lead and increasing it by 1. 6-5 is the scoreline in the 4th set.
Jessica Sconyers going with the reverse bump as it catches that top bit of the net. It takes a very strange bounce off a couple of Scots players as it hits that hardwood. Katie Hubbard back to serve, and it goes down as an ace for Katie Hubbard.
That is a fantastic serve. It had so much movement on it. Finds the sideline, near sideline for the broadcast, and she's going to go back to serve once again. Serving well is Katie Hubbard.
He'll actually go down as the 3rd service ace for the Lions, and now we're looking at an even 3 aces per both teams. Lochterman gets blocked up front, able to rebound off of that block and get the finish she was looking for. Conflesh will sub in for Lochterman as Baldwin, the libero, will be back to serve for the Scots. Scots are down by 1, 7-6 the score. Hubbard. Sconners actually was kind of looking for a set bump there. Actually ends up sending it over. Jackie Sampson ends up getting on top of Herrera and sends it over. Lions trying to keep it alive. Herrera with the set, looking for Phelps. Phelps is blocked up front. Phelps keeps it alive. Sconyers going to pop it over the top. Bailey keeps it alive for the Scots. Conflesh with the tip over and gets the kill.
And what kind of kill was it, Matt?
Just outside the campfire, actually.
It was just
outside the seating area for that campfire.
And just a little baby tip toward the short corner, something she has basically made her own.
She has mastered that little redirect tip.
Absolutely, and it's really hard to cover that because if you cover that, you're leaving a way more high percentage shot open as the Scots shut down the Lions attack once again. That's Sampson getting blocked up front.
And those are back-to-back points given credit due to the efforts of Emma Conflesh. That one coming off of a block this time, the first one coming off of that little tip kill that we were talking about earlier. So now, back-to-back points courtesy of Emma Conflesh, and now the Scots have a 1-point lead against these Lions. Baldwin back to serve for the 3rd time now. Scots on a little bit of a run. We'll see if the Lions are able to respond and even this score up. Hubbard. Herrera with the set, looking for Sconyers. Sconyers is blocked up front by Conflesh.
Couldn't say it enough. There is that height once again paying dividends. It's something you can't teach. It's something you're just born with. But man, is Conflesh taking advantage of all 6'1", I believe, of her frame as the Scots find themselves on a strong run here at the start of the 4th set.
Herman. It goes down as an ace for Anna Baldwin as Taylor Herman's just not able to make a good play off of that service error. And it looks like Coach J.B. McCormick is going to have to call a timeout, and the Lady Lions are going to have to regroup because it's go big or go home. Do or die for the Lions. Down 2-1 here in set number 4. They need to even this set up to extend this match just a little bit more. We're going to take the timeout with them. You're listening to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back, Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Buzzer's about to go off in the next 3 seconds. McAdrosky and Simon Johnstone here in Cave Arena bringing you the action here in match number 1 of this tri-match hosted by the Lions in Cave Arena in Demorest, Georgia. If you're just joining us, the Scots are up 10-7 here in set number 4. And a point awarded to the Lions, courtesy of Jessica Sconyers, able to tip that one as that ball gets buckled up between the Scots blockers and the side of the net. Now the Lions are down by 2. It's homecoming and it's senior day here in Demorest, Georgia, so a lot of fun action going on right now. We actually had a groundbreaking earlier this morning. The Piedmont Quad is a green field over in the middle of the campus. They actually have a stone slab by a seating area, and that stone slab has just been broken into and will be made into a fountain. A great centerpiece for the quad. The Scots able to respond and get another point. They're up by 3, 11-8 the score right now.
Cobb Flash finally putting one down on the ground. As I mentioned earlier, she's finding those tight corners so well, but when she unleashes her power, it is almost unstoppable as she presses over, finds herself another block. She has been a scarily dominant force in this 4th set and overall across this entire match. She has harnessed 10 kills along with, I don't know if I can find blocks super quick, but I'm going to try.
He's going to try, but you're right. She's been a dominant force. And Kelsey Carmen will be back to serve. Actually, correction, that's Rachel Bartlett.
And Cobb Flash does have 3 total blocks along with her 10 kills. A fantastic scoreline for her.
Here's the attack by Caldwell. That goes into the side of the net. Cobb Flash ends up hitting Cobb Flash. Cobb Flash doesn't really know what to do with it. Point awarded to the Lions. They're down by 3 as Gunn and Ash will sub in for Phelps and Herrera. Gunn back to serve. Carmen. Bartlett setting up for Cobb Flash. It gets off the blockers, and Taylor Herman able to clean up the rest. Ash able to send it over. Weathersby defending the front. Scott's not able to get it over. And now the Lions are down by 2, clawing back in this one.
Great job by both Sampson and Weathersby to put pressure on those touches. They were tight to the net, not attacks, but still not allowing Scots to just press the ball over, which has led them to a point as the Scots are once again in scramble mode. Lions looking to take advantage here. Goes out to Ash from Gunn. Going to roll it over the net. Out to the libero. Goes out wide once again.
What a play by Sampson. Keep that alive. This time, Gunn's going to try and do that fake set over. Sampson with the attack. Ends up getting blocked up front. And the Lions not able to recover and keep that one alive as the Scots get another point, now up by 3 as Kelsey Carmen will be back to serve for the Scots.
They are going to need to find an answer for Cobb Flash and the upfront height of the Scots, as that has been the key to this 4th set for them to harness a 3-point lead so far in this set. As another block goes down for Cobb Flash, number 4, if not 5, so far in this match. She has been a dominant force so far in this 4th set, and the Lions need to find themselves a way to shut that down.
That's actually going to go down as an assisted block, courtesy of both Cobb Flash and number 4, Taylor Caldwell. Lions getting set. Gunn setting up for Weathersby. Scott's able to keep it alive, and it looks like Bartlett's going to bump it over as it hits the top of the vents. And a whistle is blowing. A point is awarded to the Lions.
Just like in tennis, you hit the ceiling indoors. You're not going to win the point if it goes over. Lions using all of their facility to their advantage in that situation, as we have Bevel going back to serve once again for the Lions.
It's strange because from what I remember, I thought for sure you can make plays off of that when it hits the ceiling.
You're right to a degree. So how it works in volleyball is if it hits your ceiling and it stays on your side, you're allowed to make a play over to the other side. But if you are transitioning the ball over to your opponents and it hits the ceiling, that's when it's called an illegal pass or movement over.
Interesting. Simon Johnstone bringing us the facts and figures.
A little bit of a volleyball.
You learn something new every single day. Taylor Herman, the libero, back to serve for the Lions. Down by 3, 15-12 the score right now. Bartlett setting it up. Caldwell able to send it over. The Lions keep it alive. Bevel looking for Ash. Ash with the attack. And Bartlett with the dig. Baldwin setting it up for Caldwell. Kept alive by Bevel. Gunn with a fake set. Kept alive by Bartlett. Baldwin's going to pop it up for Caldwell. Gunn saves it for the Lions. Ash with the attack, tips it over. Baldwin sends it into the side of the net. Point awarded to the Lions.
Amazing job by Jenna Ash, calling out the libero's not tight coverage, tipping it over the right side block. That's going to give her 9th kill of the match so far. The total leader for the Lions in set number 4.
Scott's coach, word for her team, looking to try and rebound here. Bailey with the attack, kept alive by Brooklyn Gunn. Hubbard with the attack, sends it over. Carmen keeps it alive. Bartlett saying it up for Caldwell. Blocked up front by Sconyers and Hubbard. Bartlett looking for Bailey, kept alive by Herman. Gunn saying it up for Hubbard. Hubbard with the attack, sent into the face of that Scots D. Point awarded to the Scots, and Nissa Snyder back to serve as she subs in for Taylor Caldwell.
And not to put too much pressure on a singular point, but I think this is the point that's going to make or break the set right here. If they find themselves cutting it down to a 1-point lead, I think the Lions are going to give themselves a huge advantage as Gunn gives a set out to Hubbard. Swinging and attacking error by Hubbard. The Scots find themselves a 4-point favorite in the 4th set, 17-13 the scoreline. And as now we have Snyder dropping back to serve.
And now the Scots are 8 points away from not just closing out set number 4, but from closing out match number 1. Gunn with the set looking for Sconyers. Sconyers gets the kill. Jessica Sconyers, or as I like to call her, Jessica Strongers.
She has some serious force behind that swing, and my goodness, is she painting the corners with it. She's found deep corners multiple times in this match, and she is putting that Scots defense on their heels and making them worried about wherever angle she is going to put it. That is going to give her 6th kill of the match as Herrera drops back to serve.
Baldwin. Bartlett with the fake set, kept alive by Sconyers. Herrera looking for Phelps. Phelps with the attack, blocked up front. Herrera's going to set it back up. This time Hubbard's going to get over, and it looks like Hubbard catches that line, and she does! Lions are within 2, 17-15 the score right now. Cave Arena is starting to rumble just a little bit.
The Lions may have broke the yoke, but man, can they scramble that egg. I'll tell you what, they are finding those free points.
Oh my gosh. He's already feeling the commentary right now. This is great. I love this. Point is awarded to the Scots. Goes down to service error by Herrera. Kyla Bailey back to serve for the Scots. Bevel set by Herrera looking for Sconyers. Sconyers is blocked up front by Loggerman. Grace Loggerman, an absolute force for these Scots right now. Tell me, how many blocks has she got so far?
Well, for blocks, she's holding in 6, which is an insane total.
Oh
my
that goodness!
11 kills. She is second on the team, just behind Carmen with 12. And blocks, she is leading double the person behind her, who is Kayla Bailey with 3.
Oh my goodness. That is absolutely phenomenal. We're going to get a quick break here. Timeout called by the Lions. We're going to take the break with them. You're listening to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back, Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Matt Kajuska and Simon Johnstone. Simon Johnstone making his broadcasting debut here in Cave Arena on homecoming, on senior day, here in Demers, GA in this tri-match. Katie Hubbard goes for the kill, misses her mark by a good bit as that one carries past that back line. And it goes down as actually being tipped up front. Bit of a late ruling by the sideline official.
It's been a lot of curious calls this match, I'll tell you what, but when they land in our favor, I'm not going to question them as much as if they land in the Scots' favor. So,
yeah, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Lions down by 3. Katie Hubbard, the freshman, back to serve. Bailey. Bartlett Looking for Rockman, blocked up front by Scogers, and he catches inside the line. A point for the Lions, down by 2. And Katie Hubbard, number 2, back to serve for the second time.
Scogers grabbing herself her 5th block just behind Lauderman with 6. She has had a fantastic time up front as that serve is going to go deep by Katie Hubbard, moving the Scots only 5 points away from closing out this first match of the day.
Anna Ball with the libero back to serve for the Scots. As Simon mentioned, 5 points away from closing out the set and closing out the match. Herrera with the set, looking for Scogers. Scogers with the attack, kept alive by Bailey. Bartlett setting it up for Carmen. Carmen tips it over. Sampson keeps it alive. Set by Scogers, looking for Sampson. Sampson gets the kill!
And look at the reaction by Scogers, the middle blocker getting an assist from a set. You do not see that every day, and what a fantastic set to the outside was that by Scogers as Sampson grabs herself a down-the-line kill. Scogers is now going to step back and serve, hoping to close this gap from 2 down to 1.
Lions down by 2, 7 points away from taking the set. Setting up for Conflash. Conflash able to get it over. That was kind of a strange set by the Scots, but Conflash able to make the work of it after kind of having to adjust in midair off of that strange set.
Absolutely. She looked like she was floating for what seemed to be 2 to 3 seconds. Gets a great tip down, and with no line there to cover, grabs herself a free kill. 21-18 is the score in the 4th set.
Bartlett back to serve, and oh my goodness, the ball just catches that top bit of tape on the net, and I've never seen the net reject the ball like that before. Goes down as a service error for the Scots, and that couldn't have come at a worse time as any kind of momentum they just gained just shifted back to the Lions. Gunn back to serve. Lions are still down by 2, but the Scots are 4 points away from closing out the set. Lions in scramble mode. Ball gets away from them. Point awarded to the Scots. 3 points away from closing out the set. Up by 3 against the Lions. Lions need to fight back here and now. And back to serve now is Kelsey Carmen for the Scots,
who has been a seriously unsung hero for the Scots. She is reining in a ton of kills, actually leading the team with 12 as...
Oh my goodness! Emma Conflash!
11th kill of the day. That one the most powerful with the biggest exclamation point. Puts them to the penultimate set point. Scoreline 23-19 here in the 4th set. Scots looking to close it out in 4.
Oh my goodness. I think she left a crater in that hardwood, Simon Johnstone. Back to serve is Carmen yet again. Gung with the set. Looking for Sampson. Sampson with the attack. Gets it through!
Not down and not out are the Lady Lions, looking to push it to a 5th set. Only down 3 as Bevel checks back in to serve for the Lions.
Now here's a quick reminder, folks. In volleyball, you have to win by 2. So if this set suddenly goes 24-24, we're looking at a possibly extended set here. And right now we're on pace for that. Kyla Bailey gets the kill for the Scots. Scots are 1 point away from closing out set number 4 and match number 1. And look who's back to serve, Simon Johnstone.
Who else but Cobflesh, who has been quite the star.
Absolute dynamite so far. Bevel. Gunn setting up for Weathersby. Weathersby with the attack. It gets away from the Scots. Lions get the point down by 3. Okay, Lions need a 3-point run unanswered to extend this set and keep their hopes of winning match number 1 alive. And who better than to come off the hand of the libero, Taylor Herman. Baldwin looking for Bailey. Bailey's going to bump it over. Gunn looking for the set, and it's blocked up front, kept alive by Hubbard. Gunn setting up for Hubbard. Hubbard gets it over. Hey, here's the hardwood. Lions down by 2, courtesy of number 2.
Hubbard showing true. Reminder, she is just a freshman playing like a 2nd or 3rd year player on this team with such poise and maturity. She has been a star in these last couple sets.
Bailey, Bartlett looking for Lockerman, kept alive by Taylor Herman. Ash with the tip over. Bartlett with the set, looking for Bailey. Bailey with the attack, kept alive by Herman. Gunn with the set, looking for Hubbard. Hubbard with the attack, blocked up front by Lockerman and Caldwell, and that will end the match.
What a match. Scots take it in 4. Final score of the 4th set going to be 25-22, but man, did the Lady Lions fight hard till the very end. They came back from 2 sets down, grabbed that third set in strong fashion, fought till the end in the fourth, unfortunately coming up just short in that fourth set. But I will tell you, they did not give up one bit. With such resolve did they fight with, and man, oh man, do these Scots seem happy to grab themselves the first win. But they're not going to be having too much of a break to celebrate. They will be right back for match number 2, where they play against the Panthers of
LaGrange College.
LaGrange.
All right, we're going to go straight into our post break. And first of all, let's just start off with this. How about these Scots up front? I mean, the height, the aggressiveness, the tenacity. It was there the whole way, and it was what closed out the match at the very end with that block up front, courtesy of Caldwell and Lochterman.
Yeah.
Simon Johnstone, let's run through kind of the stats.
Well, we talked about the height of the Scots at the beginning of the match, and that seemed to reign true here today. Lauderman holding in 7 blocks herself. Kalbflesh 4 to her name. And when it comes to kills, the same 2 names pop up once again. Lauderman and Kalbflesh both having 13 kills. Anytime you break double digits is a good day. When you find yourself in the teens, that is one special kind of match. And with 2 players in it, it's hard to not believe that they won this match. They played fantastically through and through, and they kept putting the pressure on the Lions.
Let's just kind of talk about that. You're talking about how anytime you get double-digit kills, it's a great day. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Scots players with double-digit kills in this match.
Absolutely. They were pushing the envelope at all points and making sure those Lions felt their wrath and felt their pressure with those strong attacks up front. For your Lions, our kill leaders were Jenna Ash with 8, Sierra Phelps with 7, Jessica Sconiers with 7, and the freshman Katie Hubbard with 7 as well. When it comes to blocks, Sconiers leads the team as well with 5, Weathersby with a total of 3, along with Jacqueline Sampson and Jenna Ash as well with 3.
Well, let's just kind of talk about this for a second, because there is a discrepancy. You're talking about the difference in the individual kill totals, but let's just look at this for a second. When you're looking at that Scots stat line, you're looking at a lot of those contributions coming from those 4 main players that we were mentioning earlier. Kelsey Carmen, Emma Kalbflesh, Summer Northcutt, and Kyle Bailey, and Lochterman. All of them. Those are kind of those main offensive producers. Looking at the Lions, we had a whole wide range of good kill totals from these Lions. We're looking at Elena McDonald with 5 kills, Jackie Sampson with 5 kills, Sconiers with 6. I did not mean to hit that button. Oopsie daisy. Actually, our live stats just clocked over. But
darn,
I'm counting that, and I'm looking at about 6 different Lions players, each with over 5 kills so far. So it's not like production was at a minimum. It was just coming from a wide range of players.
Absolutely. And I think that's a huge credit to the setters that we had today with Herrera, Gunn, as well as Manzo. Did I get the name right? Manzo. Okay.
We kind of
credit to those 3 setters, because they facilitated and moved that ball around, making sure that the Scots didn't get comfortable, which was an amazing job, keeping them in those last 2 sets for sure, and putting the pressure on the Scots to try and force them to close it out.
Well, you can see the LaGrange Lady Panthers warming up right now on their side of the court. That game will be coming up shortly. Thank you for joining us here for match number 1. From Matt Kudrowski, Simon Johnstone, Kay Nelms producing for us, Danielle Percival and her amazing crew. And shout out to Joe Garwood up here in the catwalk with us right now. Stay tuned for the next match between the LaGrange Panthers and the Covenant Scots. If you're waiting for the next Piedmont game, that game is currently slotted to start at 4 p.m. We will be back here in Cave Arena to bring that action to you. Don't go anywhere, and stay tuned to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube.